Why use a metaphor if you can just say ships? I like facts, says James, and facts can be awfully difficult to determine 100 generations after the fact. Ooh, good one, I offer sarcastically, but the others ignore my spirited sally. James is on a roll. I can't help that poets and philosophers feel obliged to gild the lily with myth-making and fancy metaphors that everyone praises as great intellect. It's unnecessary obfuscation of what is more plausibly explained in concrete terms. Alika plucks a fresh tune from his ukulele. I could while away the hours if I only had a mind. It's not if I only had a mind, it's if I only had a brain. Respect the ancient classics. Be accurate. James slaps Alika's leg with his cap, then flaps it in the air so vigorously he almost hits the fourth companion, the Honourable Hestia Hope. Hetty, of course, is the one who has been reading aloud to us from the reflection that is this week's philosophy assignment. Dear James, I pray you, calm your cap and mind, says Hetty, with the quiet dignity and sly pinch of mischief she fully inhabits. Her lips part in an inviting way that draws Son's gaze for a caught breath, although Hetty never looks at her, not once. I politely look away from their adorable, if perilous, little interaction as Alika continues singing of riddles and oceans. James, Alika, and Hetty have been with Son for years. She knows their foibles and their strengths. She relies on them absolutely, which is why all my warning klaxons blare when the princess turns her attention to me, her newest companion. That diamond drill mind of hers is always going, which means her companions need to be on their game all the time. If there is anything I am not, it is on my game all the time. Purse, what do you think? My suddenly nerveless fingers drop the bun as I blink. What do I think? Do you think is the question we are all asking ourselves, remarks James, because he can't help himself. Never say I can't take the Triceratops by the horns in a crisis. I snatch James's cap out of his hand, leap up, and sprint away. James yelps and scrambles after me, but he's not anything as quick as I am, and utterly lacks my impressive ability to alter trajectory and dodge. Alika raises his voice with a new verse. Her head all full of stuffin'. Son leans back on an elbow, amused by Alika's twanging melody, James's outraged shouts, and my bold bid to avoid the question. But we all know I've only put off the inevitable by a few minutes before I have to pay the piper, and admit that I did not, in fact, do the reading, whereas James certainly did, and is just being contrary. Shadow and light shift behind the rice paper screens of the bodyguard's office. It once belonged to Son's faithful bodyguard and military tutor, Octavian. He was murdered in front of our very eyes 6 weeks ago. Son burns a stick of incense every day in his honor. A screen slides aside. Colonel Isis Sumtaris emerges, holding an unrolled tablet in her right hand. Princess, I have last week's training scores. Saved by the bell. With a triumphant grin, I toss the cap at James and trot back to the gazebo, not remotely out of breath. You might not say so, honored Persephone, once you see the scores, remarks Isis as she offers the tablet to Son. Her teacup pteranodon, Wing, perches on her shoulder, watching me as if wondering if I'm small enough to be a snack. A roll call assembly request from Son pings onto our rings, the private network that allows Son to share shielded communications within her trusted inner circle. Weekly scores. Now. We four companions are already here, of course. Wiping damp hands on towels, Candace and Tiana emerge together from the kitchen. The two are a study in contrast. Battle fan-wielding Candace grew up on military ships as the child of dead soldiers, herself destined to be a soldier. Glamorous, beautiful, accomplished Tiana graduated top of her class from Vogue Academy. Like Isis, they are companions, the Cicis who attend to us companions as we tend to our Son. In an alcove set into the wall beside the courtyard's entry gate stand two of the other 3 current ring-wearers. Marine Ensign Solomon Yosefa Solomon and Ensign Jade Kim are anomalies, temporary additions to Son's...